818 Creation. Development projects. Long-term focus. Development projects are typically long-term initiatives aimed at bringing sustainable change and improving the overall well-being of a community or region. Capacity building. Development projects often prioritize building the capacity and skills of local communities, institutions, and organizations to enable them to sustainably address their own challenges. Infrastructure and economic growth. Development projects often focus on infrastructure development, such as building roads, schools, hospitals, and improving access to clean water and electricity. They also emphasize economic growth, job creation, and income generation. Holistic approach. Development projects take a holistic approach by addressing various aspects of development, including education, healthcare, agriculture, entrepreneurship, and governance. Empowerment and ownership. These projects aim to empower local communities, enabling them to take ownership of their development processes, make informed decisions, and actively participate in shaping their future. Collaboration and partnerships. Development projects often involve collaborations between governments, NGOs, international organizations, and local stakeholders to pool resources, expertise, and knowledge. Relief projects. Short-term response. Relief projects are immediate responses to emergencies, crises, or natural disasters. They aim to provide immediate assistance to affected populations. Humanitarian aid. Relief projects primarily focus on meeting the urgent needs of affected communities, including providing food, shelter, medical aid, and basic necessities. Rapid deployment. Relief projects require quick mobilization and delivery of resources to address the immediate needs of affected populations. Temporary assistance. Relief projects are typically short-term interventions that provide temporary relief until affected communities can stabilize and rebuild their lives. Coordination and logistics. Relief projects require effective coordination among various stakeholders, including government agencies, humanitarian organizations, and volunteers, to ensure the efficient delivery of aid and resources. Rehabilitation and recovery. Relief projects may transition into development projects as the situation stabilizes. Efforts focus on long-term recovery, rebuilding infrastructure, restoring livelihoods, and addressing the underlying causes of vulnerability. Remember, while these are general distinctions, there can be overlap between development and relief projects, and both are crucial in addressing the diverse needs of communities in different circumstances. Definition and goals. Define development projects. Explain that development projects focus on long-term improvements, such as economic growth, infrastructure development, and social progress. Define relief projects. Explain that relief projects are short-term initiatives aimed at addressing immediate needs and providing emergency assistance in response to crises like natural disasters or conflicts. Highlight the primary goals of each type of project. Time frame and duration. Discuss the timeframes involved in development projects. Explain that development projects often span several years or even decades to achieve sustainable growth and lasting impact. Discuss the timeframes involved in relief projects. Explain that relief projects are usually implemented quickly, aiming to provide immediate relief and support during emergencies, typically lasting from a few weeks to several months. Approach and focus. Explain the approach of development projects. Development projects prioritize long-term planning, capacity building, and sustainable solutions. They focus on addressing root causes of problems and fostering self-sufficiency. Explain the approach of relief projects. Relief projects prioritize rapid response, addressing immediate needs like food, shelter, water, and medical assistance. They aim to save lives, alleviate suffering, and provide temporary relief during crises. Funding and resources. Discuss the funding sources for development projects. Explain that development projects often rely on long-term funding from government grants, international organizations, private donors, and loans from financial institutions. Discuss the funding sources for relief projects. Explain that relief projects typically rely on emergency funds from governments, humanitarian organizations, and donations from individuals and corporations. Stakeholders and partnerships. Explain the stakeholders involved in development projects. Development projects involve collaboration between governments, NGOs, local communities, private sector entities, and international organizations to ensure coordinated efforts and sustainable outcomes. Explain the stakeholders involved in relief projects. Relief projects involve partnerships between humanitarian organizations, governments, local communities, and international aid agencies to deliver emergency assistance effectively. Conclusion. Summarize the key differences between development projects and relief projects, emphasizing their distinct goals, timeframes, approaches, funding sources, and stakeholders. Highlight the importance of both types of projects in addressing different needs and stages of development. Encourage viewers to support and contribute to both development and relief initiatives based on the specific context and requirements. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in a couple of days.